was just an escape room. You have all these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that like I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live, drinking, smoking.
Broken shell of myself with this relationship that threatened to sort of like truly like wreck my life, and I had done nothing to deserve that. And I'm like, what is life? Like, what, I'm so back.
Justin Bieber's rise to fame has always looked like a whirlwind dream, overnight success, millions of fans, chart-topping hits. But beneath that glittering surface, the reality was far messier and darker than most people realize. Behind the scenes, during those crucial teenage years when Justin was still figuring out who he was, some very powerful people in the music industry came into his life. And while the public saw mentorship and guidance, insiders now say the truth was far more complicated and troubling. Over time, fragments of Justin's past have come to light, revealing just how vulnerable he was as a young star being pulled into an adult world that wasn't always kind. Recently, it seems Justin has reached a breaking point, ready to finally confront the painful memories and the people involved. Names like Sean Diddy Combs, Will Smith, and legendary music executive Clive Davis have surfaced, men who held tremendous influence, yet allegedly failed to protect Justin when he needed it most. According to insiders, these figures weren't simply career mentors. Instead, some allegedly exposed Justin to situations that a teenager, still a kid in so many ways, should never have been forced to navigate. The kind of trauma they caused has left scars that linger to this day. Over the years, Justin has dropped subtle hints about the emotional damage, confessing trust issues, moments of feeling lost, and using drugs as a way to escape the overwhelming pressure and confusion of those early years. He's been candid about battling PTSD stemming from those experiences. The recent news about Diddy's legal troubles seemed to awaken a storm inside Justin. Even though their connection had faded with time, those closest to him noticed his behavior shift dramatically. Friends say he began isolating himself, acting erratically, and some even reported signs of relapse, turning back to substances he had previously overcome. For fans who have watched Justin's public struggles, this pattern was heartbreaking but sadly familiar. The dynamic with Diddy, once viewed as a big brother or mentor relationship, now looks more like a source of pain and exploitation. While Justin hasn't publicly revealed the full story, those around him confirm the emotional weight hasn't lessened. Recently, he posted a strange video of himself eating pizza just as Diddy and singer Cassie were making headlines in court. This cryptic clip, grainy and surveillance-like, sparked wild theories. Some observers even suggested it was a subtle, coded message, reminiscent of the alleged secret recordings and shady surveillance tactics Diddy was rumored to have used at his parties. The internet exploded with speculation, trying to decode what Justin might be trying to say without saying it outright. Hailey Bieber, Justin's wife, has reportedly been extremely concerned. She's witnessed his remarkable journey, overcoming addiction, finding stability, becoming a father, and building a life together, but seeing him unravel again has left her deeply scared. The past Justin thought he had buried is clearly still haunting him, and it's not just a mental health battle, it's a raw, ongoing trauma that threatens to consume him again. This whole saga exposes a dark pattern within the entertainment industry. Behind the glitz and glamour, there's a history of powerful adults taking advantage of young talent under the pretense of mentorship. Justin's experience isn't unique, but it's one of the more high-profile cases bringing this troubling reality into the spotlight.
Check this out, though. Justin, he's in, seen the movie 48 Hours. Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship with him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So we gonna go full crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do for the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls.
Man after my heart. That's what I'm talking.
People have whispered for years about Diddy's questionable behavior, his tendency to position himself as the gatekeeper to fame while allegedly wielding control in ways that weren't always healthy or ethical. It's not just Diddy either. Names like Will Smith and Clive Davis come up in conversations about blurred boundaries, industry giants whose influence may have at times been a double-edged sword for young artists. What makes this even more painful is how these figures maintain their polished public personas, appearing at awards shows and gracing magazine covers, while the stars they allegedly impacted struggle with very real emotional wounds. Justin's story is a heartbreaking reminder that fame isn't always a fairy tale. Behind every headline and sold-out concert, there can be trauma, exploitation, and emotional battles that go unseen by the public eye. While Justin isn't ready to lay everything bare just yet, his willingness to hint at these truths marks a crucial step toward healing and accountability. For years, some have slowly opened up about the heavy toll it took on them, the crushing pressure, the fear, the betrayal of trust, and how they coped, often turning to drugs or alcohol just to escape the pain. It's a heartbreaking reality that went largely unheard for so long. But now, those voices are finally breaking through the silence. Even though it's difficult to confront, it's also a crucial and empowering step toward healing and change. Back in 2014, Justin Bieber was everywhere, but not always in a good way. The media loved to label him as a wild troublemaker, a rebellious teen who couldn't keep his life or career in check. Fans grew frustrated, the press didn't cut him any slack, and many people dismissed him as just another spoiled kid lost in fame, never really pausing to wonder what was happening behind the scenes. Today, with serious allegations against Sean Diddy's Combs making headlines, people are taking a closer look at Justin's past, especially his relationship with Diddy. What once seemed like a mentor-mentee bond now feels far more complicated. Justin was a teenager, vulnerable and new to the industry, while Diddy was a powerful adult with enormous influence. Now, fans and insiders alike are questioning if Justin was truly protected or if he was taken advantage of. Looking back, it's clear we may have been too quick to judge Justin. The so-called bad behavior might not have been about fame corrupting him, it might have been a young boy's reaction to confusion and pain. Instead of support and care, Justin faced judgment and harsh headlines. What he really needed was guidance and protection. The fact that he didn't get those things reflects more on the adults around him and the culture that enabled it than on Justin himself. Justin's ascent to stardom was nothing short of meteoric. From uploading simple videos on YouTube to signing deals with Usher and RBMG, everything happened at breakneck speed. At just 14, he found himself thrust into a world few can imagine: constant hits, a growing legion of fans, and access to the biggest names in music, including Diddy. Years later, those early moments are being re-examined under a new lens. Old footage of Justin and Diddy has resurfaced, and people are reconsidering what looked like innocent mentorship. Now, some see it as troubling. They notice Justin's demeanor, the things he said, even the lyrics of his songs, and wonder if there was more going on beneath the surface. One social media user captured the mood perfectly: "Hollywood, you failed him. Stay strong, Justin." That feeling resonates with many fans who aren't just reflecting on Justin's rise, they're grappling with the cost of that rise and wondering if he was truly safeguarded when it counted most. A viral clip of Diddy talking about spending 48 hours with a 15-year-old Justin has taken on new meaning. Diddy jokes about having custody of Justin, although he doesn't, and promises they're going to buck fool crazy for 2 days. The tone might have seemed playful back then, but today it sends a much darker message.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this right there. Be yours. So, let's a little dusty. One shot.
Man.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, come down there, you gotta, your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you can ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Now that 16.
Slow down. Slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys are yours. You're 16. You're good to go. Yeah. And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are we off?
Interestingly, the video was posted by Justin himself on his YouTube channel and remains there, adding to the unease among fans. There are other moments stirring questions too. One shows Diddy handing Justin a bottle during a birthday celebration, with Justin kneeling down to take a drink while a woman cheers him on. Fans are left wondering what kind of environment that was for a teenager and who was really looking out for him. Then there's a clip from a 2014 episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where Khloe casually talks about a wild Hollywood party she attended, mentioning Diddy, Quincy, and Justin Bieber among the guests. Back then, it seemed like typical party chatter. Now, it raises eyebrows. Justin was just 19, still so young, and already mixed up in scenes that feel far from innocent. Back then, it seemed more like something out of a grown-up's wild late-night fantasy than a typical weekend for a teenage star. The moment barely made a splash, just another peek into the chaotic, glamorous lives of celebrities. But with all the recent legal drama, accusations, and renewed scrutiny of Diddy's behavior, people are looking back at that clip in a whole new light. It doesn't feel innocent anymore. Fans are wondering why a kid like Justin Bieber was even involved in scenes like that. Who was actually watching out for him? And how many other moments like this went unnoticed? While everyone focused on Justin's rebellious image, no one paused to ask the real questions. This isn't just about one party, it's part of a bigger, more troubling picture that's finally coming into focus. Early in his career, Diddy was definitely part of Justin's world, whether through music industry connections, like their shared link to Usher, or what appeared to be mentorship, Diddy was involved. Old photos, videos, and interviews show them spending time together. One clip even features Diddy bragging about having Justin, then just 15, in his custody for 48 hours. But as time passed, the relationship seemed to change. A recently resurfaced video shows an older Justin running into Diddy again. The interaction is tense and awkward. They shake hands, and Justin keeps things brief, saying he's all good. Diddy tries to keep the conversation going, mentioning Justin's big arena shows and noting he's starting to act different and hasn't been hanging out like before. That moment is filled with an uncomfortable distance, making people wonder what really happened between them. Fans have noticed the difference in Justin's body language compared to earlier clips, where he once looked eager and trusting. Now he's calm, polite, but clearly guarded. Considering the serious allegations Diddy faces today, this interaction feels loaded. Many believe Justin's quiet distance wasn't just coincidence, maybe it's because he saw or experienced things that made him pull away. What was once seen as a typical celebrity mentorship is now being looked at much more carefully. Justin's struggles with his past aren't new, but recently, something unexpected blew up on TikTok. A mysterious audio clip surfaced with Justin singing about Diddy, including lines like, "Lost myself at a Diddy party / I was in it for a new Ferrari / but it cost me way more than my soul." The raw, emotional tone hits deep. Interestingly, the song isn't officially released or leaked, it might even be AI generated. Still, it resonates because it captures the feelings fans and insiders have suspected for years. If you listen to Justin's real music, Lonely is probably his most honest and emotional track. He sings, "Everybody saw me sick / and it felt like no one gave a s*********. At the time, those lyrics were often brushed off as typical teenage rebellion or just mistakes. But knowing what we know now about the people around him and the pressure he faced, those words feel like a heartbreaking cry for help, a glimpse into how lost and isolated he truly was. When Diddy's legal troubles made headlines, including jail time, it took a clear toll on Justin. Fans noticed he started struggling again, with old wounds reopening. Reports said he was having emotional breakdowns, reliving painful memories from his early years. To cope, he turned back to substances, and his behavior grew erratic. People close to him, especially his wife Haley, have shared how hard it's been to watch him fight with the weight of his past.
This weekend, a bunch of my friends, Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far French so good. Montana. Do you even know half the people you're naming? No. She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet. You haven't? I want to be Clay when I grow up, of course. I got on the plane at 5:30 a.m. Go to this party. I think half the people there were butt naked.
Trying to keep his life and career afloat amid all this turmoil reveals a much more layered reality than the bad boy image or rebellious teen label that Justin Bieber was stuck with back in 2014. What's becoming clear now is that he was a young man deeply impacted by everything happening around him, and he's still dealing with the aftermath years later. That makes understanding those early experiences even more crucial. According to a recent report from Us Weekly, a close source revealed that Justin has been going through a really rough mental phase lately. With all the allegations surfacing about Diddy and everything tied to that, it's been overwhelming for him to process. The whole situation has reopened old wounds that have been buried for years. Despite all the pressure, the source says Justin is trying to focus on the positives, especially his new role as a father since he and his wife Haley welcomed their son Jack in August. Becoming a dad has been a bright spot, helping him find joy amid the stress linked to Diddy and the unfolding drama. Justin isn't only pointing fingers at Puff. He's also distancing himself from others connected to that world. Fans noticed when he started unfollowing key people on Instagram, including his former manager Scooter Braun and close team members like Allison Kay, Ryan Good, Pooh Bear, and Kenny Hamilton. But the biggest surprise was when he unfollowed Usher, his former mentor. This move sparked a lot of speculation online. Some fans connected the dots, wondering if it was linked to the Diddy controversy. One user on X remarked, "Didn't Usher introduce Justin to those Diddy parties when he was underage?" If that's true, Justin definitely has reasons to unfollow him. Others admitted they were confused and concerned. "I didn't expect this," one fan said. "Justin unfollowing Usher really makes me wonder what happened back then." Their former close bond, almost like father and son, makes the sudden distance between them feel suspicious, leaving many to question what's really going on. The conversation isn't limited to fans. Freddie P., a former associate of Diddy's, recently spoke out in an interview on The Art of Dialogue, sharing insights about Sean Combs' role in Justin's early years. Freddie didn't hold back, describing how heavily involved Combs was with Justin during that time, and how their relationship still casts a shadow over Justin's life today. Freddie P. revealed some harsh truths about the dangers tied to Diddy's influence. "Puff has connections that can seriously mess you up, even send you to the hospital," he said, referencing incidents involving Jamie Foxx and Justin himself. He described Justin's reaction as stunned and shaken, his whole face just dropped. Freddie added, "That man, Bieber, is terrified of Diddy." Interestingly, Freddie admitted he wasn't a fan of Justin in the past, even calling him racist at one point. But over time, his views shifted, and now he respects Justin's growth and journey. He also praised how much more grounded and calm Justin has become, showing a side that many hadn't seen before. In June 2022, Justin revealed his diagnosis with Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that caused partial paralysis on one side of his face. It was a challenging time, but he has since recovered. In the same interview, Freddie hinted at a possible connection between Sean Combs and Justin's health issues. He suggested that some Diddy pills might have contributed not only to Justin's paralysis, but also to a medical emergency Jamie Foxx faced in 2023. These claims have stirred serious conversations. And Justin's concerns don't end with Puff. Clive Davis, who once mentored Diddy, and even Will Smith are said to be involved in these troubling circles. So, what's your take? Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated.